for being here today. I wanted to read you one of my favorite stories. I've always liked fairy tales, and this is one of the favorite ones that I have that not as many people know about. And I really love this book because it's got all kinds of nice illustrations, pretty pictures. Not really things that you see in a lot of modern books these days. So especially some of these old ones have really nice stories with moral endings. And this is one of my favorite stories. And it's called The Fairies. It's got this real nice picture right here, some sort of lithograph, I think. I think you can see it. And I love binding books like this with the embossing. So I'm going to read this book to you, okay? The Fairies. Once upon a time, there was a widow who had 2 daughters. She and her elder daughter resembled each other so closely in appearance and character that when you saw the daughter, you would have thought it was the mother. They were both so disagreeable and proud that they were impossible to live with. The younger of the daughters, who for gentleness and good manners was the image of her father, was also as beautiful a girl as you could wish to see. Since like attracts like, the mother was excessively fond of the elder daughter and had a terrible aversion for the younger. She made her eat in the kitchen and work all the time. Among other things, the poor child was obliged to go a good half-league from the house twice a day to fetch water and bring back a great big ewer filled to the top. One day, when she was at the spring, a poor woman came up to her and asked if she could have a drink. "Of course you can, good mother," said this pretty girl, and she rinsed out the ewer, went to fill it at the best spot along the stream, and offered it to the old woman, holding it so that she could drink more easily. When she had had her drink, the good woman said to her, "You are so fair of face, so good-natured, and so considerate, that I cannot do otherwise than give you a gift." For the old woman was a fairy who had put on the shape of a poor village woman in order to see how far the young girl's kindness and politeness would go. The fairy continued, "The gift I give you is this. At every word you speak from your mouth, a flower will come, or else a precious stone." When the beautiful daughter arrived home, her mother scolded her for coming back so late from the spring. "I beg your pardon, mother, for having taken so long," said the poor girl. And as she spoke, from her mouth came 2 roses, 2 pearls, and 2 great diamonds. "What's this?" exclaimed her mother in astonishment. I do believe that those are pearls and diamonds coming from her mouth. How can that be, daughter?" Which was the first time she had ever called the girl daughter. The poor child told her exactly what had happened, producing huge quantities of diamonds as she did so. "Really, I must send the other daughter," said the mother. "Come along, Flory. Look at what has come from your sister's mouth when she speaks. Wouldn't you like to have the same gift? All you have to do is go and get some water from the spring, and when a poor woman asks for some water to drink, give her some nicely." "Not likely," said the bad-mannered girl. "That would be a fine sight, me going to the spring. We'll go at once, and you'll go, and that's an order." So she went, but grumbling all the time. She took the finest silver jug there was at the house. As soon as she had arrived at the spring, she saw a lady magnificently dressed approaching from the wood, who came up and asked her for a drink. She was the fairy who had appeared to her sister, but she had made herself look and dress like a princess, as to see how far this daughter's rudeness could go. "Do you think I've come here just to give you a drink?" said this proud, rude girl. "I'm supposed to have brought a silver jug on purpose, am I, for Madame to drink from? As far as I'm concerned, you can drink straight from the stream if you want." "That is not very polite," said the fairy, without getting angry. "Very well, then, since you are so disobliging, the gift that I give to you is this. At every word you say, a toad or viper will come out of your mouth." As soon as her mother saw her, she cried out, "Well, daughter?" "Well, mother," replied the rude girl, and spat out 2 vipers and 2 toads. "Oh, heavens!" exclaimed the mother. "What happened?" "This is all because of her sister, and I'll see she pays for it." And she rushed off at once to give her a beating. The poor child ran away and escaped into the forest nearby. The king's son, who was on his way back from hunting, met her there, and seeing how beautiful she was, he asked her what she was doing all alone, and what had made her cry. "Alas, sir, it was my mother, who chased me out of the house." The king's son, seeing 5 or 6 pearls and as many diamonds coming from her mouth, asked her to explain how this could be. She told him the whole story. The king's son fell in love with her, and, considering that the gift she had was worth than any dowry that any other girl could have, he took her back to his father's palace, where he married her. As for her sister, she made herself so hateful that her own mother chased her out of the house, and the wretched girl, after a long time, going from place to place without finding anyone to take her in, went off to die at the edge of the wood. And the moral of this tale: if you have gold and jewels galore, you'll make a great effect, of course, but gentle words are worth much more and move us with greater force. Another moral: to be polite and kind and show respect is difficult. Some effort must be made. Sooner or later, though, you'll be repaid, and often in a way you don't expect. The end.